What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Humboy checking in with you. Doing a recap on the Wizards 149 to 146 victory over the Brooklyn Nets. Um, in the final 14 seconds of regulation, it was kind of a strange event, but I guess you could say they had it going. Bradley Beal did hit a pull up 3 pointer from like 35 feet away with like 7 seconds left. Now in the inbound, right after that shot, Joe Harris initially the ball was going to the Kevin Durant who was open, but then he was double covered. When Kevin Durant went to the right to actually get away from the double to get open, Joe Harris mistakenly released the ball from his hands, thus going into the Wizards defender hand, and he got over to Russell Westbrook, who stepped behind the three-point line to make the game-winning three. Um, that was kind of I guess you could say a fluke play, but it does happen because it's basketball. However, the Nets have a lot of work to do defensively. Um, Most of their problem is poor rotation. It's, they don't have a solid on-ball defender, which is what they gave up when they went to go get James Harden. So it's an issue that Steve Nash has to address. I'm not saying that they're not title contenders because it's still early, but you can tell that the lack of defense is going to cause them to be in a lot of more shootouts that they don't need to be in. Like, there's no way a team as horrible as the Washington Wizards should even sniff 140 points against you, but because your defense is basically doo doo, any team in the league can basically score 140 on you. I mean, and to somebody of KD and Kyrie and Harden's caliber of talent, that's definitely unacceptable. Regardless of how you want to put it, even if it is their first season fully together, I feel like in the 22 games they played together, they're subpar mediocre of a team. They have the talent, they have the star appeal for sure, but the mere fact that they did give up so many points in so many possessions, that just is unheard of. Your buddy just natural death, I see. Yeah, sorry about that. My son's back there just doing his own little thing. What? See that right there? That's right. But anyway, so the bane of the breadth of their team is the offense. However, if I'm Steve Nash, I'm gonna go into the free agency market and find a reliable defensive player. You're not asking that player to score. You're asking him to create havoc on the defense, to get them easy transitional buckets, to allow KD and Kyrie to focus more so on putting the ball in the basket and having to worry about putting effort on both ends, because their game is not predicated to both ends of the court. It's predicated to mostly offense. However, they can become better defensive players, which I felt like when KD was in Golden State, he was a much better defensive player. When he got to Brooklyn, you could tell he kind of lapsed off. I mean, because some of the guys on the Wizards were getting by him with ease. It wasn't much of a threat once they got by him. And, he blocked some shots to his credit. He stood there and took on some guys and altered shots and made it a lot harder for them to get easy buckets. But outside of that, where's the defense? You know what I'm saying? They have the second best record in the East, but to me, I'm not gonna say they're a bottom feeding team, but they're getting there. The way they actually give up points is like that is horrendous. They can, just like the Miami game like a few weeks ago, they gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter, which is tremendous in terms of defensive efficiency because they cranked it up on them. But Miami was also shorthanded, so it's a give and take thing. They were missing shots and they were shorthanded with their personnel. But to Brooklyn's credit, they did not allow to happen what happened to them the previous time they met to happen again. So they limited them to 14. However, last night it's like the tit for tat scoring was ridiculous. I mean, you're talking about giving up easy access to the paint where the Wizards were dunking the ball almost every other possession. If they weren't dunking, they was getting off threes, and most of the threes were uncontested. But the same can be said about the Wizards. You know, their half-court defense is trash. I mean, they can't stay in front of people to save their life. Yet they were able to put up 149 points last night to win, and the Wizards and the Nets put up 146. Again, you know, Steve Nash, he's not a proven coach. He has no coaching experience, yet they gave him the job because he meshed well with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and now he has James. So I'm curious to see, as the rest of the season goes along, how he's going to make those adjustments, because every single game is the same excuse. Oh, well, you know, it's like last night he says a pride issue. People have individual, you know, pride. People have individual pride in terms of their play and this and the third, not willing to, you know, fully embrace every possession. To me, it's not about embracing a possession, but you have to have some type of dog in you. You gotta at least want to stop your opponent from scoring. You won't be able to do it every single possession, but it's like, you know, damn, if they go down the court and score every other time that you score, then what kind of a game is this? You know, that's just ridiculous. You got to be able to shut them down to go on a decent run to pull away. I mean, they was about 18 in the first quarter, and after that lead filtered away because they started getting complacent, or they just relaxed on their morals and like, this is a boring game, we want to be here. Well, if that's the case, just get out the game and let the backups play. You know, don't waste your energy or your time. I mean, because if you're fighting to play for a championship and you're trying to build that camaraderie to go against the elites, you know, they got their biggest test, and actually in 2 days, and they take on the LA Clippers, who is a fundamentally sound defensive unit, who can shut down their offensive game. So if you don't perform well against them, you're going to get blown out the court. And this is it could be a potential finals matchup, because right now the Clippers are the best team in the NBA, period. The Lakers are not. The Lakers have not figured it out yet. Yeah, they won a championship last year, but that's because the Clippers had an epic lapse in Game 7 against the Mavericks. So that's not the Lakers' fault, but still, the Lakers do not have the camaraderie or they don't have the willpower right now to overthrow the Clippers. And they're going to have their showdown pretty soon, I'm sure, but right now, the best team in the league right now is the Clippers. And the Brooklyn Nets are going to be seeing them, I think it's Monday or Tuesday night. But I think it's Tuesday night because it's a TNT game. So they're going to be seeing them Tuesday night. So the real question is, how do you... Will you calm down? How would they fare against that team? So we're going to see how they do. I mean, because I was highly disgusted last night. And if I'm the coach of the Brooklyn Nets, there's no way I'm going to the sideline when they come over for a timeout. I'm just lollygagging about, you know, you got to make them believe or make them have that fire to want to play better defense. You can't just be talking to them like okay, we know you're superstars, both of y'all, but you know, if you guys don't play with some type of fire, I'm gonna have to pull you. I don't care. Like, that's just crazy. I can't let them just run all over you guys all day. That's exactly what happened with teams. They feel like they can score Brooklyn anytime. So, like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do Tuesday night, because they have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Serge Ibaka. So we'll see how they fare and what they end up doing. But if they don't get together, they're gonna see their playoff hopes get dashed, especially in the East. Because I mean, Giannis is not a threat to them, but it's more so, you know, I think Miami's gonna come back into a groove once they get their players back, And who's at Philly right now? Philly's real dangerous. And don't sleep on Boston. So it's a few teams that's ahead of them, like hungry-wise, to knock them off because they're the quote-unquote crowned new kings of the East based on their roster, not based on what they've done together. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, guys, I'm about to go make this breakfast, and I'll be posting another video on Tuesday about the Nets and the Clippers. So, peace.